so that we can get it concluded. Does that make sense? Does that sound like a good plan? All right, Mr. Akbar, would you state your full name for our record, please?
Muhammad Akbar.
Okay, and you're soft-spoken, so I want you to use the microphone so I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I can. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about how you came into the property and how it was that you rented to Ms. Ang and what happened from there.
Okay, so I bought the property last year. I think end of July last year, and then I started renting after I know it was rented already. So after I bought the property, I just kept on going. And
do you own other properties with your LLC?
Yes.
Okay. In Clatsop County or other area?
So this property is in Clatsop County.
Okay.
The property in question.
And that's the 420 or 430 South Holiday. How many apartment units are in there?
12 units.
How many?
12.
Go ahead.
Okay, so and then it was rented, and then in apartment number 6 in question, there was a previous tenant who left, and then I tried to re-rent it and posted ad for rental, and that's how she got into it. So because of the time limitation, I want to make sure that I can ask some questions to her, if you allow, because there are something that I want to make sure that I understood clearly.
Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead. Ms. Ang, just to clarify some of what you said, Mr. Akbar is going to ask you a couple questions.
Okay. So you said that you had a leak from your bathroom to the downstairs, right? Did you have any leak in your bathroom to your sink or your toilet or anything in your bathroom?
I was informed of the leak from my bathroom in January prior to renting it from a resident who has lived there for many years.
So just to clarify, it wasn't in your unit, it was information you received that there was a leak in the unit below?
Well, in the culture of nobody complaining, it came to my attention when Severino told me he was having leaking. Due to me being appointed newly temporary manager, I had now this trust and different keys and responsibilities. So I was able to enter his apartment, and due to being able to visualize this bathroom is over that bathroom, we were able to ascertain that the leak was coming from my apartment. There was not a visible source of a leak. And the down below bathroom that was leaking had wood panels as if it might be a pipe leak, such that every time I took a shower, and I would actually check in with the downstairs manager, he's now the new manager, to discuss, okay, I took a shower at 9:30 Sunday morning. Did you experience a leak at 9:30? And we confirmed and isolated it. Mr. Akbar was on the property, and the building's a little bit labyrinthine, and we were not able to figure out where is this leak coming from. And I told him, hey, I think it's from my unit. And so he said, yeah.
If she talks too much,
I'm sorry.
I cannot talk continue, right?
So next question.
Okay, so the answer is that you there was no leak in your apartment. Second question is that the city official, Miss Ang, please concise your discussion because we don't have much time. Okay, so a yes and no answer should be enough. You had a city official visited your property. Did they identify? Did you have any proof? Them saying that there was a leak from your apartment to the apartment downstairs, and it was caused by the leak just right below your shower. Did you have any proof? It should be yes or no answer, please. Did they give you any evidence because they inspected the property while you was there? Did they tell you anything about that?
I understand your question.
Yes or no, please.
My understanding is that what I reported to them, certain things did not fall within their jurisdiction. So electricity did not pertain to shower.
Right. So the answer is no.
Answer is no. Okay. Did you remember that when you reported about that, I entered your apartment with your permission, and I also turned on the shower, and then we inspected the property with the tenant downstairs that you were talking about, and we did not see anything at that time. When I turned on the shower about like 10 minutes, in your apartment? Do you remember that?
Do I remember this date?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I will want to make sure that she remembers all the things that we could not identify that it was coming from her shower.
When was that inspection, or when did you go into the apartment to look?
I think it would be sometimes in April. I cannot remember the exact time date, but when it was reported, at that time I went there.
Okay.
Okay, and then because you talked about, I will jump to the key items. One, you talked about leak, which is an important item, and then I will talk about the electricity. So, do you have an evidence? Probably you do have that the electricity was threatening to your life, right? And probably you have some evidence that you want to show. Can you please tell about the evidence, because you already talked about it? Can you please show me the evidences that the property was in dangerous condition for your safety and for your life? Because the inspector actually visited the property, and you can show the inspector's inspection results as well, because you complained to the inspector and the inspector visited, so he looked at the property physically himself and give me the evidence that what he identified.
Okay.
Please concise. Okay, we don't have much time. Please.
In my conversation with Bob Mitchell and Tim Samples described a fire that occurred diagonally, catty corner from my unit, that the previous manager, Mike Royal, prohibited Tim Samples from entering even during the fire. Evidence of fire in the unit adjacent mine with the breaker box included a heater with a charred prong, and then I have evidence in this phone, I believe, of the smoky sockets, which fire would emanate from the sockets.
Objection, Your Honor. She's diverting the discussion. My question was very clear.
Could I ask, Ms. Ang, you have documents that you want to submit.
Yeah.
And so I think what Mr. Akbar is asking is that, does that documentation include anything from an inspector or a...
Both city reports.
Okay, and I think that's what he's looking for. If you have those things, he'd like to see what you've got there.
This was my all for you, but he's welcome to look at it.
Did you make copies for...
I don't have a complete set, I don't think.
Okay, because if I receive it, I think it would be fair for Mr. Akbar to be able to have a copy as well.
And this includes a copy of the lease he
Yeah.
probably...
Just identify to her that what are the complaints that you are...
The two documents are April 15th.
I know the documents. I have seen the documents, because that's the document that you are going to show from the city, right? So the city and the inspector sent me a documents. Are you going to show that documents?
Yes.
Okay, I have seen that.
Okay,
So,
all right. So
the question is that, can you identify the complaint that you are making? Did they identify any complaints that is, my property is dangerous, my property is unsafe for your living and unsafe for
I have my first email to the fire department.
Show me the documents, please. Show me the documents to the judge.
let's do this. That packet is something that you would like to show me. Could we have Mr. Akbar look through that so that he can see what you are intending to...
These are emails that he was including.
And that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. And so we're going to mark...
This includes a copy of the lease.
I'd like to mark that packet as Plaintiff's Exhibit 4, just the whole packet. And then, Mr. Akbar, you take a look at that, so you'll see what the packet is. And if there's something you want us to make a copy of, we'll make a photocopy of it.
Okay, so I see a lot of emails, which is basically the one that